Okay. Good afternoon. So I request everyone to mute the speakers. Okay. Welcome to my session, Big Data Analytics. You people know we are studying in the second chapter, and we have only few topics to cover. Okay. So that is nothing but we are studying about essential Hadoop tools. In the essential Hadoop tools, we have studied many of the concepts like Pig, okay, Hive, Scoop, Apache, Flume, and HBase. So these are all the things we have studied. Then we started to study about the yarn. Okay, you know why the yarn came into the picture. Okay, so initially when there was Hadoop version 1.0, basically MapReduce is the one which is going to do all the operations. But when yarn introduced, yeah, I request everyone to mute. Okay, fine. So as I was discussing, uh, version 1 there was no yarn. Okay, MapReduce is the only one which is going to take care of everything. But then the yarn came, which has been reduced the burden of the MapReduce, and it started to use the handling the resources. And even yarn is a very good scheduler which is going to do the scheduling. And even it is going to do the scheduling based on three things. One is FIFO, one is fair, and one more is capacity. Okay, so these are the very basic things we have studied. And we have studied about resource manager, node manager. Okay, then very important thing, container, application master, okay, resource manager, and a client is the one which is going to initiate any kind of the applications. Okay, so these are the things goes that already I told you, different kinds. Okay, now today's topic is Apache Ambari. Okay, basically you people know even the Flume is going to be developed by initially Facebook, but it has been taken take over by Apache, and they have made it as an open source so that everybody can use it. Okay, in the same fashion, everything developed is basically open source tools is by Apache Maximum. Okay, so what is going to happen? You people see, if Facebook is purely a command oriented social website. Okay, if Facebook is a command oriented social website. Mhm. Guys, somebody has unmuted the speaker. Kindly mute it. I'm not getting who has unmuted. Kindly mute the speaker. Okay. So as I was telling, if Facebook is an application, this application has been going to be used based on the commands, then it is very difficult to use the Facebook, since we are having the dashboard for the Facebook where everybody log in, and they are going to use Facebook very effectively. Okay, so in the same fashion, we are having Apache Ambari, okay, which is going to help Hadoop installation. We can there is a tedious time-consuming process. We need to go by hand. Guys, somebody is disturbing the class. I'm not getting unmute option. Kindly unmute. If somebody is trying to disturb the class, kindly unmute. Okay. So basically, as I was telling, Hadoop installation is a very tedious time-consuming process if I am doing by hand. Okay. There comes a dashboard. Okay, that dashboard, it is going to help, okay, to do all the operations. Okay, are you understanding what is the meaning of a dashboard? Now, as I told you, if Facebook is command oriented application where you need to run the command in order to access the service, means it is a tedious job. Where you people need to install a game, means you should run a command. Again, it's a tedious job in the Facebook, for example. Or else you people need to do some OLX operation in the Facebook. Again, you need to run the command, means again it's a tedious job. Okay, but since you are having a, okay, Yes. So as I was telling, if I want to do any activity over a Facebook, if I that is what I need to run a command means it is a very tedious job. Since I'm having a dashboard, by using the dashboard, by using the graphical representation, I can easily do any kind of the service. That is where the Apache Ambari comes. Apache Ambari is something like a graphical management tool, which is going to help you to easily manage the things. Okay, whether you need to synchronize a file into a cluster, whether you need to start some service, whether you need to stop some service, or whether you need to restart your Hadoop services, all dependent services, everything is going to be done in this dashboard. So that's the beauty of this Apache Ambari. So what is this Apache Ambari? Apache Ambari is a graphical management tool which is designed to help and manage the things very easily. Okay, so what is this things Apache Ambari? Apache Ambari is going to act like a centralized point of the administration. Okay, using Ambari, what I can do is I can monitor the status of the different kinds of the services. I can visualize from the front end what is going to happen in the back end. That is what the dashboard is going to do, and that dashboard tool, the name they have given is nothing but Apache Ambari. Okay, and even it is a high level agility method, okay, where monitoring is going to become very easy. Even we need to monitor, we are going to see in the upcoming slides what all the things we are going to do. Okay, we can monitor the health of the node, we can do any aspects. Okay, so that is what the Apache Ambari is. So when I come to the dashboard, this is a very important dashboard. This is a screenshot of the dashboard of the Apache Ambari, where you people can see I'm having all the services. Okay, it may be SDFS, it may be a map reduce, it may be a yarn, it may be Tez, it may be NGOs, and it may be Hive, and even it may be Pig, Scoop, okay, and even Zookeeper, Flume. People can see all the services. It is present on the left side. If you take into the screen on the right side of the screen, okay. So basically, the dashboard consists of, if I want to move something, I should click and hold the widget. Okay, if I want to edit something, I should hold the mouse on the widget and click the gray edit symbol. Okay, so all the operations are present here. So this is a widget. Whatever the operation I can want, I can do. And basically, this is how the dashboard of Apache Ambari is going to look. Okay, so let us see in detail what all the things consist of this constituted in this Apache Ambari. Are you guys understanding? Any services which is running in the background on the Hadoop cluster can be seen on this graphical management tool, that is nothing but called as Apache Ambari. Are you guys understanding? See here, Ambari Hadoop 2. Basically, Hadoop 2, what's the difference between Hadoop 1 and Hadoop 2? Hadoop 2 is going to consist of the yarn. That is the beauty of this Hadoop 2. Okay. Hadoop 1 consists of no yarn. It consists of only MapReduce. Guys, are you understanding? I can use the disk data usage. I can use the data nodes. I can check for the data nodes. I can use the CPU utilization. I can check. I can check for resource manager. Guys, can you see here? This is a dashboard which is going to provide you the graphical management tool. Okay, so very simple example as I told you. If you want to do something into the Facebook and you need to run a command, it is a very tedious job, right? But now everything is very simple. You just go install. If you just open a game, you play Candy Crush. It is as simple as that. That is going to help by using this dashboard. That is going to be helped by using this graphical management tool, and that graphical management tool name is nothing but Apache Ambari. Okay, so these are all the different kinds of the things you people can see. If I want to see the CPU utilization, I can see the CPU utilization. Okay, and many other operations I can show. I can see the host memory used. Okay, host is the one who is going to allocate the job to this particular Hadoop cluster. Okay, and then I can see how much the host memory it has been used. Okay, and I even can see different kinds of yarns that is used. People can see yarn admin. Okay, who is the author? Author is the admin here. Okay, like this I can see different kinds of the things on this dashboard. Still we need to see a lot of things into the dashboard. Coming back to the services. Okay, so basically it is very clear that if I want to run the services using the hand edit, what is the meaning of a hand edit? If I want to run the program on the command prompt, it is very difficult when I compare to that of on the dashboard. Are you guys understanding? Very again the same example I would like to bring. It may be a Twitter, it may be a Facebook. Both are providing you the dashboards where you can do any activity. For example, if you want to share a post and you need to write a command to share the post, that is a tedious job. Okay, why? Because every time you need to go back to the backend command prompt console, there you need to write the code to what people can see to share the post. But nowadays it is very simple. There will be a arrow mark on the post below share. People do it. That is what the dashboard helps. That is where the Apache Ambari comes into the picture. It's a purely a graphic management tool. Are you guys understanding? So if I want to provide a graphical method, I need to configure some files. Okay, for example, this is the hand edit files, but I can do directly on the Apache Ambari. Okay, if I want to go to this path /etc/hadoop /configure XML files, that is a hand edit option. But now since I'm having Apache Ambari, I can just click on the particular icon and I can do it. Even I can see the summary of the process. What does the summary consist of? The summary is going to consist of the heartbeat status, or I can say the health status of your Apache Ambari. Okay, and similarly I can use the dashboard for different kinds of the operations. People can see here, yeah, this is what service actions. I can get different kinds of the service actions. Even I can get the summary. When I click on particular action, whether it may be a health checkup of a particular node, I can get the detailed summary of the health checkup with even with respect to that of a graph. That is what the beauty of the Apache Ambari is. Okay, so this is how the things goes. Okay, so even some other operations I want to manage, some kind of a group. I can create a group in this Apache Ambari. Okay, so when I come to the host, if I am the one who is initiating a Hadoop process, then I am going to be considered as a host. Okay, how a host is going to be recognized? The host is going to be recognized either by name of the host or its IP address. Okay, and this consists of different kinds of the informations. The information may be like the name, number of cores. Okay, cores is nothing but your CPU cycles. Okay, or even memory or the disk usage and the current load on the CPU and Hadoop components, different kinds of Hadoop components that you are using. This all the information that is going to be presented in the host view. Okay, and even I can check which are all the services that the host has been installed during running the process. That is going to be displayed on the rightmost columns. We'll see. I will show you. See here, when I click on the components, 30 components are there in this particular service called as Illuminous. Okay, N0 consists of 16 components. Its load average is 0.09. Its data usage is this much. Okay, it's RAM, how much RAM it is using? 15.600 GB RAM it is using. Okay, there are how many cores for the CPUs? There are 4 cores. And what's an IP address and what's the name of the host? This is how I can consist of n number of the host in any particular event. Are you guys understanding? So this is how that is how the Ambari helps me to see all the status which is running on the background. I cannot, if you want to see, I need to run the commands if I am doing a hand edit. Are you understanding what is the meaning of hand edit? I should go to the command prompt. I should write the particular command to see the status of the particular host. But here, Apache Ambari is nothing but it is a graphical management tool which is helping me to see all the status over a dashboard. That is the beauty of the Apache Ambari. Like this, I may have different tools, but here we are studying about the Apache Ambari, right? So even I can see the components, what are the different kinds of components I am using. See, basically I'm using, if I'm using data nodes in HDFS, it is started and it is running. If I'm using Flume, Apache Flume, which is started and running. If I use different kinds of regional servers, that is started and running, everything is going to be displayed into the Apache Ambari. Again, that's the beauty of the Apache Ambari. Okay, so that is what with respect to host view. When I come to the admin view, who is the admin here? The one who has created the Hadoop cluster is the admin. Okay, the one who has created the Hadoop cluster and the one who is having a particular Hadoop cluster is the admin. The best example for the admin is nothing but Yahoo. Yahoo is the admin, I can say, because Yahoo is having the biggest Hadoop cluster in the world. I'm not saying that other companies don't have the Hadoop cluster, but I can best example I can give you is nothing but Yahoo. Now Yahoo view, when I say admin view is nothing but Yahoo view. I can say first of all it consists of provide different 3 categories. Okay, in the admin view, The first one is nothing but repository listing. It consists of different kinds of the software and services which has been using in your cluster. That list it consists of. Okay, second one is nothing but service account. Means what are the different kinds of the services that Apache is running, Apache Ambari is running that services. And the first one is the list of the softwares. The second one is the list of the servers services, and the third option is nothing but with respect to security. Okay, can't you believe that your Facebook is secured? Yes. If you try to log in from another device, it is going to ask you for the OTP. Similarly, the Apache Ambari is also security oriented. Nobody can access and see your cluster. Okay, that is the third option. That is nothing but security. Okay, so this all the three aspects that is present in the admin view of your Apache Ambari. We have seen different kinds of services, we have seen how the dashboard is, and even we have seen how the host view is, and now we are seeing how the admin view will be. Okay, so basically people can see this is what the admin, when I log in into the admin, I can see different kinds of service accounts. Okay, it may be about HDFS, it may be about Hive, it may be about NGOs, it may be about Scoop. Can you see, guys? It may be about Yarn, it may be about Zookeeper. All the information is present in the admin view. Okay, and when I want to manage Hadoop services, that's a very important thing. Why the term manage comes? Keep it in your, guys. Now we are doing the classes online. Okay, sometimes network failure happens when I'm doing a simple class on the online. Okay, all of you connected and suddenly some network drop happens. That is quite common. Okay, but when you are running such a big Hadoop cluster, and during the course of Hadoop operation, some services may fail for any of the reason. Okay, so then who is going to monitor that whether the service is running or not? That is a very important question. Yes, I told you Zookeeper is the one who is going to keep on updating the health status of the particular node. Here there will be a separate tab called as Zookeeper tab in case of your Apache Ambari, which is going to keep track about the different kinds of the status of your health. Of your health means here the health of the data node and the name node. Okay, so that is what the this Ambari monitors all of the Hadoop services and report if any interruption occurs over the dashboard. Means notification will come on the dashboard directly that yes, particular node has failed, or the notification or pop-up box will come in your Hadoop cluster Apache Ambari dashboard that particular node 2 has failed. This is how the managing of the Hadoop services is going to take place. If sudden network drop occurs, the message will come to your Hadoop cluster on the Apache Ambari that the network drop has happened. Okay, these are the different things which is going to be shown on. This is how we are going to manage the Hadoop services. Okay, so NGOs again, which is going to monitor what are the things required. Okay, whatever the things is going to be there, it is going to be sent in terms of a mail. Okay, admin want to inform something to the host, they are going to send to the mail of Nagios. People can see again it is present on the leftmost corner. Okay, can I show here? Yes, below the this there are the thing that I told you. Okay, everything will be present in your HDFS. It may be a MapReduce, Yarn, Tez, NGOs, and then Hive, HBase, Pig, Scoop, Uzi, Zoomkeeper, Fluke. See, guys, everything is present in your HDFS. Whichever you require, you are going to use, and it is very clear that whether you are logging into the client view, whether you are going to log in into the host view, or you are going to log in into the admin view. Basically, admin is the one who is going to manage the services. So this is how the Hadoop service is going to be intimated. If any node failure occurs, admin the information will go to the admin node. Admin node will inform to the host node. Okay, so this is how the things goes. Yeah, people can see here one background operation running. What I can see here, start node, stop node, see how much duration, what's the time the node has started, how much number of CPU it is utilizing in terms of percentage. All the things will be available to see. How much memory it is utilizing, how many number of CPU cores it is utilizing, on what time the node has stopped, again on the what time the node has restarted. Everything is going to be available on the dashboard, and that dashboard is nothing but called as Apache Ambari. Okay, then comes the changing Hadoop properties. That's a very big question, because changing here is not a easiest task. Why? Because you people are going to have thousands together of nodes, thousands together of name nodes, thousands together of data nodes. If I want to do any change in the any of the properties of the one node, then again it's a very tedious and time consuming process. If I am doing hand edit, are you guys understanding what is the meaning of hand edit? Hand edit is nothing but you are going to run the command to do the activity. See, keep it in your mind, you can do the activity in two ways. One is you can do the activity using hand edit. Hand edit is nothing but you are going to run the command on the console. But even they have developed a beautiful dashboard. Okay, that dashboard I can even call it as a graphical management tool, and that tool name is nothing but Apache Ambari. Okay, this again, changing Hadoop properties is going to become very simple when you are using Apache Ambari. Ambari provides an easy way to manage this process. Why? Because everything is an icon based process where you can stop the service, where you can start the service, where you can change the configuration file, where you can do any operations over the Apache Ambari. That is what they want to tell. Okay, so people can see here, if I want to change any process here, basically I have taken the yarn, and you people know yarn is basically a scheduler, and even it is going to allocate the resources. But for example, if I want to it isn't taken an example of resource manager. I'm using Java heap size of 1024, and resource manager is I can say some name. Okay, then I want to change it, and I need to save the configuration. Once the configuration is saved, see here, it is displaying a message. This is what I can do in two ways. I am telling, either I can use this dashboard, or I can use the command prompt to run the command. Command consists of some of the commands that you people need to remember when you are doing this activity. But since sorry, but since Apache Ambari is there, Apache Ambari is providing you graphical management tool software through which you people can do every activity, and saving the configuration, that is nothing but changing the properties of any activity, is going to become very simple when you are using Apache Ambari. So now you people can see, once the changes has been done, okay, I need to restart. That is very important in case of Hadoop. Okay, if I do any changes in the configurations, I need to restart the process. So how I can restart the process? I should go back to that particular tab, and I should click on the restart all. So this Ambari will restart the function appears after changes in its service property. Okay, so this is how the things goes with respect to that of Apache Ambari. Okay, and it is going to ask me whether this will trigger, means it will trigger a process, means it will stop and restart the process. Whether you want to do that, yes. If I want to do that, I should say confirm restart all. Then it will restart all the process concerned to that particular activity. Okay, this is all you need to do in the back end, and which is a tedious process, but Apache Ambari helps you to do into the front end, that is using this tool, and which is very helpful. So Apache Ambari, again, it's a beautiful management, graphical management tool, which is going to help you to do all the activities over Hadoop cluster. Are you understanding? So if you are, believe me, if you doesn't have Apache Ambari, then it was quite difficult to do this kind of the process, because running and editing a command is a tedious process. Okay, so again I can see what all the background operations I told you. When I restarted the components, see, again after restarting, initially there was only 7% of CPU utilization. Once I restarted the process again, it has been utilized 35%. Everything I can see here. Okay, that dashboard helps me to see all the background activities, whether you are copying a file, whether you are restarting a service, whether you are suspending a service, whether you are starting a data node, whether you are stopping a data node. Are you using the OZ? Are you using the Scoop? Are you using the Pig? Are you using the Hive? Are you using HBase? Everything I can see from the front end, and that front end is nothing but Apache Ambari. Okay, guys. So yeah, that's what I need to make the changes. I can do it. Coming back, some basic Hadoop administration procedures are there. Okay, there is nothing but HDFS procedures. Basically, we need to configure the files. Okay, basically the files which we are going to configure, it is going to be in XML formats. Okay, so there are some basic files example they are specifying. Core default.xml indicates system-wide properties. This file consists of the system-wide properties of that XML file. SDFS default.xml. This consists of the properties of SDFS file. Okay, mapred default.xml properties consist of yarn MapReduce properties, and yarn default.xml file consists of the yarn properties. Basically, I am telling you guys, the properties information will be held in terms of XML files. Okay, the in terms of XML files. That is what the basic thing here. Okay, so if I want to do any Hadoop yarn administration, Yarn has several built-in administration features that you can see when you are going to click on this link. Okay, the document will arrive. The document people can see. Okay, so in the basic Hadoop Yarn administration, keep it in your mind. I have created a node now. Okay, by using Node Manager, I have created a node. Now I want to remove that node from the cluster. Directly you cannot go and remove the node from the cluster, because that node may be taking some one or the other information from the different kinds of the services. Are you guys understanding? Or some of the node is sending some service information to that particular node. Let me, as usual, let me draw and show you something. If this is a node 1, where this understanding is very very important, so I'm drawing something and showing. If it is a node 1, guys, understanding node 1, I want to remove this node, but believe me, this node is getting the information from different places, so suddenly I cannot remove it. Are you understanding? I cannot remove it whenever I want. So the first thing is I should decommission this node. Means I need to make the node deactivated. Okay, I need to make the node deactivated. Once the node is deactivated, that is nothing but decommissioning. Once the node is decommissioned, then I should use the Ambari Web UI. What is the meaning of Ambari Web UI? Ambari Web User Interface. From there, I can remove the. From there, I can remove the. This is how the things goes. Because if I doesn't decommission, if I try to directly remove the node, that node may be getting the information from different kinds of the data nodes. So that's a hectic process. So first and foremost thing, if I want to remove any node in the Hadoop cluster, I should decommissionize the node first. Once I have decommissionized the nodes, then I can remove the node using Ambari, or even I can remove the node using hand edit tool. Okay, hand edit option. But basically, since you are having a graphical management software, you don't need to go for a hand edit option. Okay, so this is how the things goes. When I come for Yarn web proxy, again there is a server in your Hadoop cluster that is nothing but called as a proxy server. Okay, again this proxy server consists of the addresses and security issues with respect to cluster in the web interface, okay, of the application master. If you remember, in the container is an application. In that container we are going to have an application master. In this application master we may have different kinds of zookeepers, and that zookeepers is keeping the information about the health of the nodes. Okay, here I can use this web proxy server either to run the resources, or I can use it as a standalone configuration. Okay, by using this XML file. Again, why the XML file? XML file is the one which is holding the properties. Okay, then how to configure? I can go for proxy.address to yarn site in the .xml extension. This is how the things goes. Okay, so next is called as job history server. Similar to proxy server, we may have in the Hadoop yarn administration, we may have job history server. Okay, if the removal of the job tracker may create a problem in the MapReduce. Okay, so then there comes the job history server, which is going to keep track about every job that is going to be taken place either in the map, reduce, or in the yarn, and then it is going to aggregate that information, and then it is going to store that information in a .xml file, and that .xml file is nothing but called as mapred-site.xml, basically, which is going to keep track about the information from the job history server. Okay, so then again, when I come for managing yarn jobs, basically yarn is a scheduler. Then when I say scheduler, it is going to schedule the jobs. Okay, and even it's a resource manager which is going to provide you the resources. So when I say yarn jobs can be managed using the application commands. Okay, for example, like kill command, list. If I want to see all the jobs that is going to be handled by yarn, I can say list. If I want to see the status of particular job, I can say status. This is how a mapping of managing of the yarn jobs going to take place based on applications. Okay, so when I come for setting a container memory, I can do the things in very simple way. I can just allocate the memory, or I can allocate the minimum memory, or I can allocate the maximum memory. This is the three ways in which I can allocate the memory to the container. Are you understanding? I can just allocate the memory. I can allocate the memory minimum. I can allocate the memory maximum. Are you guys understanding? The first command is nothing but yarn dot node manager dot resource dot memory -mb. Okay, it is going to allocate the amount of memory to the node manager, which is present in the container. When I say same command with the minimum allocation of MB, it is going to allocate the smallest container. Okay, and that container will be of size 1024 MB by default. Okay, this is how in yarn scheduler I can allocate the minimum amount of memory to the container. When I run this command like yarn dot scheduler dot maximum allocation -mb, which is going to allocate the largest memory to the container, which will be of 8192 MB. That will be a default. I'm saying it is default. It may be more than that, or it may be less. It may be not less than, because since I'm allocating the maximum memory, it will be more than that. Okay, so 8192 MB is the memory that is going to be allocated whenever I run yarn.scheduler.allocation -mb. Maximum, when I say maximum, that is going to allocate the default container size of 8122 MB. When I say minimum, the default size will be 1024 MB. When I say resource, just memory, it is going to allocate the amount of memory to the node manager. This is how the things goes. And even I can have the container courses. Container course is nothing but the number of courses in the CPU. Okay, so when I run this command, the first one yarn.scheduler.minimum allocation v course, keep it in your mind, the default number of courses in a CPU will be minimum will be 1. Okay, so when I say yarn.scheduler.maximum allocation of v course, then maximum allocation of the courses will happen. That is, the default is 32 number of courses will be there in the particular CPU. Okay, so when I say yarn dot node manager dot resource of number of CPUs for the V course, the default it will be 8 number. Okay, this is how, like how minimum, maximum, and normal memory allocation. The same way, I can have different number of the courses in the CPU. When I run this command yarn.scheduler.minimum -allocation -v course, then I may get the default course of 1. When I say maximum, then may I get the default courses in the CPU as 32. These are all hand edit options. Are you understanding hand edit? The meaning of hand edit is you are going to type the command in the backend console, which is going to run the task. But I basically, since you are having Apache Embaree, very less people are going to use the hand edit command. Okay, so when I come for setting some MapReduce properties, I can set some MapReduce properties. Okay, for example, if I say mapred.child.java.opts, okay, which provide larger or smaller heap sizes in particular Java virtual environment. Okay, similarly, one more example I can see, mapreduce.map.memory.mb, which provides larger or smaller resources limits of the for maps. Like this, I can have even set many MapReduce properties. Okay, so coming back, the name node user interface. Are you guys understanding? When I come for name node user interface, guys, this is what I'm discussing about the SDFS administration view. So when I click on the name node in your Apache Ambari, which consists of different kinds of the things. Basically, it consists of the URL by default, like http colon localhost colon, the port number will be 50070. Like how whenever you are going to click on the XAMPP, it is going to open www dot, not www dot, is localhost that slash the particular port number which you have allocated. The same way, whenever I click on name node, that is going to be open the name node information in this particular port number, http colon double slash localhost slash colon 50070, which consists of 5 tabs. You people can see which consists of 5 tabs. The first tab is overview, the second tab is data nodes, the third tab is snapshot, the fourth tab is number of the startup process, and the fifth tab is utilities. Are you understanding? This is what the node user interface consists of. Okay, so when I say node user, the overview, it provides the overview information. Okay, which is essential information for the command line offers. It may be easier to read the formats. Okay, when I click on the data nodes tab, which is going to give me the information about the data nodes. Can you see here? When I click on the data nodes tab, it is going to give me the information about the data node, like your what is the standard of the data node, what's the version, what is the cluster ID, what is the block pool ID, and even what is the configuration capacity, and all the information which is going to be given. Okay, so when I click on the snapshot window, it consists of the list of snapshot table, okay, directories. And when I click on the startup process, which give the details of the process timings, and when I click on the utility, it consists of two things. The first one is the file system which you are going to browse, where you can easily find out the SDFS namespaces, and the second one is link the various names. So when I click on the utilities, okay, so these are the things goes with respect to that of the admin view. Okay, that is what I can say, the name node user interface. Okay, so here the people can see the data node information, n1, n0, n2, different kinds of data nodes I am having, what the capacity, how much it is used, okay, what is the remaining amount of memory, number of blocks, your number of cores, everything will be there in the data node information. Okay, so when I click on the startup process, people can see which process is started. Okay, what is the elapsed time of the particular process. People can see fs image, fg image, which is going to load fs image. Well, that is what we discussed in the first slides, if you have remembered. Okay, so that is going to be just viewed here in terms of graphical management tool, that is nothing but called as Apache Ambari. Okay, if that graphical management tool was not there, guys, it was very difficult for us to run everything in the command to see the details. There's a big hectic. Okay, when I click on utilities, I can see different kinds of directories. Okay, coming back, basic SDFS administration consists of, in a Linux based system, I can add the users. Okay, different number of users for my particular SDFS. How I can add is nothing but just type user add minus g, and the name of the group name of the user, and what is the username. Okay, and even I can create the username directory. Just I type SDFS space DFS mkdir. You know what is the meaning of mkdir, slash user slash username. And even I can make it username ownership, like what is that ownership, whether it is read only, write only, or it is a group ownership. Everything I can do it. Okay, so fscan, even I can do fscan. What is the meaning of fscan? Fsck, there is nothing but file system checkup command. Okay, if I use this file system checkup command, I can check all the status of the files, including directories and subdirectories. Okay, so whether this file is corrupted or it is working well, everything I can do, I can see. And yeah, some corrupted files I can move. Okay, when I click on move, I can move the corrupted files. When I type delete, I can delete the corrupted files. when I say files, print out the files. What is there in the files? I can see using printout. Everything I can do is some basic commands. Okay, so people can see here corrupt blocks, average block replication. When I run the command, status is healthy, then your node is active. When I see the status is healthy, then keep it in your mind the node is active. Even see it is doing fscan file system check, which is done at Friday, May 29th, okay, 2015, with the amount of time is 1815 milliseconds. In it they have checked some file. Okay, so this is how the things works, and some basic SDFS administrations. Okay, to avoid the overutilize of the data nodes, we can have SDFS balancer, which can balance the data to be given to the data node. Means I cannot say every time the same data is going to do the work. We should do the balance. There is nothing but if the data node 1 is doing now, the second thing I need to allocate is need to data node 2. When data node is doing the work, I need to allocate to data node 3. Since there will be thousands of the data nodes, every time I cannot allocate the information to the data node 1 itself, because it is now 1 is my lucky number. I cannot do like that. Okay, that is where the data node balancer comes. Okay, so yeah, sometimes we are supposed to run the SDFS in safe mode. What is the meaning of a safe mode? The safe mode clearly tells that it is a only read only information. We cannot able to write the information here. Whatever the information Hadoop cluster is having, that is read only, and that is nothing but called as SDFS safe mode. It's one of the safest mode to run the process. Why? Because whatever the information is there, it is only read only. Means whatever the information there, I can read it. I cannot write the information to the particular pointer. Okay, so I'm even having a command to run the safe mode. What I can do is SDFS space DFS admin hyphen space safe mode enter. When I click enter, it will go the DFS admin into the safe mode. Like this, I can even bring the DFS into the safe mode. Okay, and do you remember what is the meaning of decommissioning SDFS mode? I cannot directly remove the data node. Okay, whichever the data node I want to remove, I need to first decommissioning that data node. Means that data node should not have any interaction with any of the other nodes. Once I confirm that there is no interaction of that data node with any of the other nodes, then that is the meaning of decommissioning. Then I can go and directly remove the nodes. But unless and until I cannot directly remove the node once before I am going to do the decommissioning of the SDFS. And do you remember you are having the information about the secondary name node? Okay, to avoid long name node restarts and other issues, we can bring, in order to improve the performance, secondary name node, which is going to copy the information to FS image and then do the work. That is going to how we can reduce the time and even we can improve the performance. That is where the secondary name node comes. Okay, so and if people believe me, SDFS snapshots. Okay, basically I was telling you, if you remember me, nowadays the information is not going to be stored into the memory like text. The information basically in HDFS is stored in terms of snapshots. Okay, every particular instance snap it is going to take and it is going to store the information. That is how the SDFS snapshot is working. Okay, even in order to take the SDFS snapshot, I can run the hand edit command. Again, guys, can you understand what is the meaning of hand edit? Okay, the meaning of the hand edit is very clear. Okay, means I can run the command like SDFS space DFS admin. Okay, hyphen allow snapshot slash user slash SDFS slash some example the folder name. Do you remember we have studied about the article War and Peace where we are finding some information in the War and Peace. The same example here. Okay, this is a folder which consists of some file. If you remember in the beginning of the classes, where it is taking the snapshot of a particular article called as War and Peace. In this, he can find the information. By using map reduce, he can map the information, he can reduce the information. That's the basic administration works. Okay, so this is all about your essential Hadoop tools, guys. If you remember, your essential Hadoop tools consist of Okay, let me tell you very clearly. Let me go to the home. Okay, so it consists of Scoop. If you remember, it is used to import and export data to and from between SDFS and RDBMS. You people studied about PIG. Okay, it's a procedural language platform used to develop some sort of a scripting languages. If people remember HBase, HBase is also called as centralized storage, which is going to be built on the top of SDFS file, which is going to help you to randomly access the information. It is similar to that of Google's Bigtable. Hive. Hive is a platform which is used to develop SQL type of queries to run the MapReduce operations. Here I told you it never we are going to call it as a SQL, we are going to call it as a HQL. If you remember, what is the meaning of HQL? Hive query language. You already studied. Okay, what is the working of a Apache Flume? Okay, everything has been developed by Apache guys. Okay, yeah, Yahoo developed, Facebook developed, but later Apache took over and they have developed Apache HBase, Apache Hive, Apache Flume, Apache Uzi, Apache Scoop. Okay, and they have made them as an open source where people can use it very freely. Okay, when I come to the Flume, again, Flume is used to handle the streaming data on the Hadoop. If you remember, where we are having sync, where we are having source, where we are having a channel. And Apache Uzi, which is going to provide you the workflow for scheduler for Hadoop. Okay, everything we have completed in this chapter. Apart from this, we studied about Hadoop version 1, Hadoop version 2. We studied about Yarn. We studied how the Apache Ambari going to look. Okay, in the Apache Ambari, how the things are going to be organized. Okay, how the hand edit is different from that of the Apache, what I can say, Ambari. Apache Ambari is a graphical management software tools, okay, which is going to help you to do all the interactions from front end to back end, okay, including checking for the services, memory, everything. In the same fashion, you can do it in a hand edit also. Okay, that's a one more operation. And we studied basically about the yarn, which is very, very important concepts. And with this, we have completed the second module of your, what I can say, SDFS. Okay, Hadoop Distributed File System. That is nothing but we call it as a big data analytics. In the next chapter, we are going to study about business intelligence and data warehouse and data mining. Okay, what is the meaning of business intelligence in the IT industry? What is the meaning of data warehouse? Okay, what is the meaning of I can say data business intelligence? Everything we are going to study in the tomorrow's class. Okay, that's a third module, business intelligence. Before leaving the class, guys, this is a very, very important chapter. That this all the things are too important. Okay, you need to know about Scoop, you need to know about Pig, you need to know about HBase, you need to know about Hive, you need to know about Flume, you need to know about Uzi, you need to know about Yarn, you need to know about Apache Ambari. All these things are very, very important. Keep it in your mind. You should never forget this, because tomorrow you go for a company also, when you say big data, they will ask these questions about the big data. What is Scoop? What is Hive? What is Pig? What is Flume? What is HBase? What is Uzi? What is Yarn? What is Hadoop version 1.0? What's the difference between 1.0 and 2.0? What is your Apache Ambari? Everything they are going to ask when you tell about big data. Okay, so with this, I'm going to conclude today's class, and from tomorrow's class, we are going to study about the third module. But before going to that, I have created a poll for you guys. Okay, where there are two ways in which you people can create the poll. Okay, one is you people can go online, and let me copy the link here. Okay, one is you people can give me the poll online. This is a live poll. This is the ID for the live poll. Okay, where you can give me the polling for my today's class. Okay, and one more is this is the website web address link for the, even if you are not online later, you can give, means you can give here. Okay, so these are the two poll where people can participate, and kindly something new we are doing for your interaction. And today's question for my poll is very simple. Okay, how was my class today? Okay, don't worry. The user will be anonymous here. No name of the user will be displayed. Okay, this is a website, polleverywhere.com, where people can raise a question and take the poll on two things. One is you people can take the live polling, or you people can take the offline polling also. So today's question of my class is, how was my class today? Kindly rate me out of 5. Okay, guys. Hope you understand my query for the polleverywhere.com. Okay, there's a one new thing just we have introduced for your interaction. Okay, so kindly poll me out of rate. Overall rate is 5. Kindly poll me, and please, I am seeing the total strength of 100, varying. Kindly, I request everyone to do the polling. Okay, with this, I'm going to end my class. Let us meet you tomorrow. Thank you. Any doubts, kindly contact me. And don't forget to poll, please. Okay, that's like a voting class. Okay, thank you. We'll see you later.